Good afternoon. Welcome to Trust Life with Louise and our EFT tapping process to receive and integrate all these beautiful concepts and these beautiful ideas into our bodies, our minds, and our spirits and our souls. Louise says, I am safe in the universe, and all life loves and supports me. Do you feel like the universe is a friendly place? Do you feel like life is happening to you or life is happening for you? Do I feel like that as well? Do I feel safe in the universe? Do I feel safe in this life right now? Interesting concepts and interesting thoughts, aren't they? So as Louise goes on with that, she says, the stars, the moon, and the sun are all operating in perfect divine right order. So the scientists that study these things, they, all this telescopes and NASA and all the things, the things that fly around up there, the satellites and everything, they rely on the order of the universe, the order of the stars, and the understanding of the predictability. I mean, they can predict. They're predicting eclipses. There's going to be another eclipse again in December. There's not going to be another. They can see these things because they see the order and the pattern of the universe. Where did that all come from? I'm going to start again. The stars, the moon, and the sun are all operating in perfect divine right order. There is an order, a rhythm, and a purpose to their pathways. I am part of the universe. Therefore, I know that there is an order, a rhythm, and a purpose to my life. Sometimes my life may seem to be in chaos, and yet, in back of that chaos, I know that there is a divine order. As I put my mind in order and learn my lessons, the chaos disappears, and then order comes back. I trust that my life is really in perfect divine right order. All is well in my world. How might that concept serve you in the middle of turmoil, in the middle of chaos? Be it work chaos or private relationship chaos or inner relationship chaos, or in our relationship with ourselves and our connection to ourself and our nervous systems, and how many of us are suffering from anxieties and depression and different things like that. A lot of those maladies come from an imbalance in our emotions, an imbalance in our perceptions. We create our perceptions. And so as we start to think and perceive and choose to think about the fact that there is a divine right order, that there is meaning to this craziness that you might feel like you're in, there are lessons to be learned that can only be taught in these manners. And so as life happens, life is actually happening for us. Because as we learn these lessons, we can take ourselves into a higher level. One of the things that we teach, or that Master Lin teaches in the Qigong practice, and I refer to Master Lin frequently, not because the things that he teaches are his concepts, because they're not. They're universal truths of the universe. He just teaches them in a way that resonates with my particular soul and puts it together with all kinds of practices that help us to internalize it. Now, where was I going with that? Oh, right. So as we practice perceiving and choosing to believe that the world is and that the universe is friendly and that there is an order to things, when we feel like there's an order to things and there is a divine right order, when it feels chaotic in the moment and we choose to believe, there's a divine right order to this, we can go with that flow in more of a safety and more of a feeling of peace. We can also, when we get to feel messages within ourselves, because we're quiet more often, we get the divine right order that can warn us of coming chaos and arm us and equip us in manners that would help us circumvent or go through that chaos a lot faster and quicker. So in our meditative processes and in our EFT processes and in our perception processes, we actually create protection for ourselves. Because as we align with the universe and align with that divine right order that sees and understands everything, we can find ourselves being forewarned of things. I talked about that yesterday in my Qigong practice, if you want to pop back over there. I was practicing that concept a little bit many years ago, and I remember thinking, I want to just feel and listen to messages more. And I was driving to my home. I lived in Toronto at the time with my husband, and we were both in separate vehicles that day. And when I drive somewhere, I like to take the most direct route. So straight here, make one turn, go there. When he drives somewhere, he likes to take all kinds of roundy routes. Drives me crazy. So this one day, we were both headed home, and he went ahead of me. And I had in my plan this one direct route that I was going to take. And as I approached this intersection, I just got a little tiny feeling that I should turn left there. And part of me said, no, I don't want to do that because that's the way he drives. And the other part of me said, you've just been asking for listening to guidance. And so I took that left turn that I was prompted to take. And lo and behold, a block and a half later, he had broken down with a flat tire. So I was given that information because I wanted the information. Because I opened my mind to the universe, I opened my mind to the fact that I was going to be guided, and then I was guided. And I have multiple stories like that of tiny little pieces of inspiration that I either listened to and got what I needed, or didn't listen to and went, oh, darn, I was warned about that. I was told about that 3 minutes ago, and there I didn't follow it. And most of the time, well, there's one just lately. There was some wind damage in some fields in a horse's pen, and it blew over a panel, and a metal panel blew down beside it. And as it got fixed, that metal panel got left on the ground, kind of in the entrance to the horses, where the horses were traveling. And as I drove away from the property the day before, I realized that that metal panel was on the ground, and I thought I should get that panel moved. Now, for many reasons, I did not facilitate that panel being moved. And then on Sunday afternoon, my daughter went to bring her horse in, and he'd been a little bit hard to catch. So she chose to take the quad out and kind of herd them in. And as they were herding in, they were running in at quite a high speed. Well, that panel was still on the ground, and it's a metal panel that wouldn't flex. Well, her horse, her competition horse, came across that panel, stepped on it, probably at almost a full gallop, and ripped his hoof. She went to get him, and she caught him and brought him in, and there was blood all over the ground, and she's like, Mommy, my horse is bleeding. And I'm like, ah. So now we've had to vet the horse, but I had the inspiration the day before, and I had the inspiration to tell her, don't take the quad to get the horse, go catch him. And she's like, no, Mommy, he doesn't let me catch him, so I'm going to go take the quad. So that little sequence of events, there were some warnings in there that didn't have to happen. And now we're doing duct tape boots, and he won't be able to be ridden for at least a month. And yeah, so as we listen, the universe is friendly. I am safe in the universe, and all life loves and supports me. We get messages. We get talked to. We truly do. The talking comes in tiny whispers. Every time we listen, it gives us a greater ability to have faith in the little whispers the next time. And so we actually turn up our volume ourself of the whispers by listening to the little ones each time. And then validating the fact that, oh, that was inspiration. So I hope that this helps you. I am safe in the universe, and all life loves and supports me. Namaste. Thank you for meeting with me today. If there's anything here that resonates with you, I'm going to be setting up I'm starting with a virtual assistant who's going to help me with my website and some calendaring and some timing. And I'm going to be setting up a practice group, an EFT and Louise Hay practice group. So we will start together in this practice group. It'll be on my website shortly, probably within the next week. In this practice group, we'd meet together in real time on Zoom call, and we would discuss things like this. And then we would tap together and dig down into the deep core parts of why we believe what we believe, and why we're stuck in places where we're stuck, and how to move ourselves out of that using these concepts and using the modality of EFT and anything else that does bubble up in the moment, because oftentimes when I'm working with clients, I'll go into the client meeting thinking, okay, we're probably going to work on this and this today. And then something else comes up and I think, okay, we're going to use Ho'oponopono here. We're going to use EFT here. Here we're going to have a Qigong practice. Here we're going to do a breathing practice. So as I work together organically with clients and with groups and workshops, I've received guidance as well in those instances. And so together we start to hone our own intuition. We start to hone our ability to listen and receive information from a universe that absolutely loves us. So watch for those. My website is roxywright.com, RoxyWright. And my YouTube channel will be up and running shortly as well. Namaste. I love you.